So today we are looking at the Fedora Miracle desktop respin. So today we are looking at the Fedora Miracle desktop respin of 41 beta. So I already made a video of Fedora 41 beta workstation. So if you want to check that out, the video is already available. So here is our boot menu. So let's quickly boot it in the live boot, which is I'm running it on the virtual machine. I forgot to mention that I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is VMware with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5-1240p. So I already mentioned all the latest things and important changes in the Fedora 41 beta. So here is our another desktop spin, which is Miracle. So this is the latest desktop spin, and about the other desktop spins, I'm going to post it tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I'm going to complete all the desktop spins, so you don't need to worry about it. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe and turn on the notification to get the video as soon as the video is posted. You will get a notification. So the booting process will take like maybe 2 or 3 minutes usually, because it's a beta version. Sometimes most of the Linux distros also take like 2 or 3 minutes for the booting process. So I'm going to mention how much of time it's going to take. So the workstation was pretty much without flawless. It was working without any issues. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out first, and you can come back later to watch the Miracle desktop spin, or else you can come watch this and go to that. So I think it's going to take a bit more time, so I'm just going to keep quiet here. So here you can see the desktop layout loaded. So it says as a 0% in the battery. I don't know why, but we are going to continue all those things. So the time took was like a 2.5 minutes to boot up the desktop layout. So this is how the desktop layout looks in the Miracle desktop spin. So I'm going to close all these things, and let's first change the display settings and open the system monitor. So these are all the applications you get in the Miracle desktop spin. Here are the system tools. So let me find the display settings. I hope I find the display settings first, so we can change the resolution. So let me try like this. Maybe VMware automatically changes the resolution. So here it automatically changed my resolution, and when you right click or left click, there is nothing going to happen. And here are all the applications. Let's go to the all, and these are all the applications you get in this desktop respin of Miracle. So here is the installer, and you don't see any task manager or a system monitor, anything like that, but we are going to check the terminal. So let me install the desktop. Let's first try to type in something like a desktop. So it says nothing installed, so I'm going to install the desktop first. Sudo enf install desktop. So it's going to take a few seconds or maybe a minute, and it's going to install the desktop, but we are going to go to the official website. Let's open the browser. So this is the latest desktop respin, or the new desktop respin announced by the Fedora. So there was like older desktop spins, for example like a KDE, XFCE, Cinnamon, and all those things, but this is the latest one. So this is how it looks, and the Firefox going to take like a few seconds here. Usually it will take like 15 seconds. So let's click on the workspace. So here is our browser. So let's check about the Firefox web browser. So here is the version you get. So this is the latest version of Firefox, and also the beta version is also available in the official website, which is 131. So this is the stable version. Let's close the browser or the about section, and let's type in about support. About support, and it's going to say like a battery low 0%, even if you are using a power. I'm using a power adapter, but it still says as a battery low. I don't know what it's, but I think there will be some issue with that because this is a beta version and that's the latest desktop respin, so there will be some bugs, so we need to just ignore all those things. Let's click on the about support, and we're going to hit enter, and it's going to install the desktop because we need to see how much of resources it's going to consume, because this is the latest desktop respin, so that's the reason. Usually KDE Plasma will be consuming a bit more, and other desktop environment, for example like a XFC, LXQT and Cinnamon, will be consuming a bit lesser. So that's the reason. There is also no system monitor, so that's the reason I'm trying to open the desktop. So here you can see the desktop. Here are all the resources. It's consuming like a 1.2 GB because of the Firefox also. So it should be like when you boot up, it should be consuming like a 1 point or maybe like a 800 MB, 900 MB in the virtual machine. But in the bare metal, it's going to be consuming way lesser, and also it's going to be performing way better because in the virtual machines there will be some hiccups here and there because it's going to run on the RAM and also on the live boot. So that's the reason when you run it on the bare metal, it's going to be performing way better, and also the CPU and RAM will be consuming a bit lesser. So these are all the resources and also the RAM and CPU, all those things. So I'm just going to close the let's click on F10. So I'm going to type in exit, and we are going to continue about all the other information like INXI and all the other information after the official website and the downloading process and all those things. So here is some of the information, and when you look on the desktop, you can see there is some gap here. So it's kind of like a workspace thing, or there is some new design in the desktop because of the new desktop spin. Usually the browsers or whatever the application will be opened, it will be taking a lot of space. Not even a few gap will be there, but here you can see there is a lot of gap. And also it's like highlighted with the pink border of the browser, as you can see. Sorry, I'm a bit tired because I already made a video, and the video is like almost like a 40-50 minutes, so it took a lot of time, so that's the reason I'm a bit tired. And there is another thing is popping up on the desktop. As you can see, it says a battery low 0%, but I'm using a power. I connected my laptop to the power connection and I saw everything, and it's going to say like this 0%. I tried it in the morning also, it was saying same thing, 0%. Even if I had like a 35% to 40% in the morning, but I'm using a power adapter right now, but it says still 0%. I think there will be some issues with the battery, so I'm just going to ignore in the desktop. So there is an issue in the distro of the battery. So let's continue with the video. So the version you get 130, the distribution ID is Fedora, and the Linux kernel. About the Linux kernel, so this is the latest Linux kernel available in the Linux kernel website. Let me show you. Just type in like a Linux kernel as the search term in your search engine, and it's going to give you the first link, or else you can just type in like a www.kernel.org. And as you can see, the mainline version is 6.11 and the version we are using in the Fedora beta is 6.11. So the Fedora 41 beta will be using 6.11 kernel, and about the GNOME desktop environment, it will be using GNOME 47, and about the KDE Plasma, it's going to be using 6.1. So there is a 6.2 beta version also, but it didn't. I don't think there will be 6. Beta in the GNOME 41 beta version. But I'm going to make a video, however, tomorrow, so you can watch that video. So it says 6.11, and this is the stable version, which is 6.10.10, and these are all the long-term versions. And as you can see, there is a release date of the Linux kernel. So if you want any additional information, you just need to click on the releases. And as you can see, it automatically turned off for some reason. So this is the issue. So that's the reason it's always a good option to try the stable ISO files instead of beta ISO files if you're a normal user. So it completely logged out. So I'm just going to I don't know what's the password. Let's click on the enter. So there is no password. You should be logged in automatically. And again it says like a battery low. So let's open the browser and try to make a video like that. So it automatically logged me out. I don't know what's the reason, but we are going to continue. So the kernel versions, I was talking about the kernel versions. Go to the releases, and here you should be seeing the 6.6 version and the release date and end of life. So you should be seeing end of life here. And about the kernel, you can just type in like a uname-r in the terminal, and it's going to show you the terminal in the kernel version in the terminal. And or else you can just type in like a about to get some information in the web browser. If you don't have a Firefox web browser, you can just go to the terminal and type in like a uname-a or uname-r to get the kernel information. About the operating system, it says Advaita on the both sides, like not even dark or light, it says just Advaita. And the memory size, it says 7.7 GB. I'm using a 8 GB of RAM, so its available RAM is 7.7 GB. Disk space available is 1.2 GB. So here is some other browser information. I don't consider it as important, but if you consider it as important, you can just pause the video and read everything. So here is some Mesa and LLVM pipe information. So or else you can just scroll it down to get some additional information like this. When you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the window protocol, which says as a Wayland. And here is the desktop environment. It says as a Miracle WM. And here is the version of the Mesa. Scroll it down, you should be seeing the monitor resolution right here, which is 1920 into 1080. So it's just like simple things added to the desktop environments. There is no bloatwares or anything like that, just simple things. So I think they are trying to make it lightweight, so that's the reason they added the basic things. So we are good with this option. So let's go to the official website now. Let's you can just go click here, or else you can just type in like a Fedora magazine, or else you can just type in like a Fedora Linux, and the first link will be the official website. Let me show you, because some people doesn't understand that. So let's try to show that also. Fedora Linux like this, and the first link will be the official website. And about the system requirements, let me show you the system requirements of the Fedora Linux. So it completely depends on what desktop environment you're going to use. But when you consider the GNOME desktop environment, it's going to consume a bit more resources, because in order to run the GNOME desktop environment of Fedora, you need to have like a 4 GB of RAM, 2 GHz dual core processor or more. And also about the hard disk or a virtual disk, you need to have like a 30-40 GB of hard disk. So these are all the hardware specs can also run Fedora, and also the most of the Linux distros in 2024, like a 60 to 70%. But when you consider the Fedora Linux LXQT desktop spin or the XFCE, it's going to be consuming way lesser. So if you already have like a low-end PC or the old laptop, you can try the other desktop spins instead of the GNOME desktop environment, because the GNOME will be consuming a lot, and also the KDE Plasma. So that's the reason there are other desktop environment. You can try those desktop spins. So you don't need to buy a newer hardware. So here it says like a 10 GB, 1 GHz, 1 GB of RAM. So you need to have like a, in order to run the LXQT, you need to have like a 1 GB. So it's okay for LXQT desktop spin. Or the XFCE, you need to have like a 2 GB of RAM. And about the processor, you need to have like a 2 GHz processor. Here it says like a 1 GHz. But if you have a low-end PC, try it on your own instead of watching someone's video or else listening to someone. It's better to do our own research instead of watching someone's video and listen to them. It's better to try on our own and do our own research. It will be a bit better there. So here are all the system requirements. So in the official website, there is no such thing like a system requirements or anything like that. Here are the Fedora docs. Let's try to see whether they gave something like requirements. So here it says, I already mentioned like you need to have like a 2 GHz dual core processor or faster. 2 GB system RAM and 15 GB unallocated drive space. So here are the minimum requirements. So the recommended requirements will be a bit more, so I already mentioned. So here is the recommended. So it's already said in the Fedora website. I thought there is no such thing in the website, but they gave all the information. And here is the display resolution. It says like a 1024 into 768. So most of the users in 2024 will be using like a 1920 into 1080 at least, or else like a 1366 into 768. And about the graphics hardware and all the other requirements, here are complete information like a Nvidia, Intel, CPU accelerated graphics and all those things. So here is complete information. You can just go here and get all the information, or else you can just pause the video and read everything from here. So let's close everything. So here is the beta 41 released. You can just click here, and also you can go to the magazines in order to read everything. So here you should be seeing the main changes. So what is Fedora beta release? So it's again popping up again, battery low 0%. Just let's try to ignore it. So here is complete information of the Fedora beta and some of the changes of note. Valkyrie replace Redis, Python 2 is not no more. So starting with the Fedora Linux 41, there will be no Python 2 in Fedora. So you can just read it here because I don't want to make video lengthy. And the proprietary Nvidia driver installation with a secure boot support. Here is another information. DNF file is here. And also when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the DNF and boot C in image mode, Fedora variants, RPM 4.20. Here is the build progress. And here is the new Fedora repo query tool, KDE Plasma mobile spin. I'm going to make those videos tomorrow, so I will be posting daily 2 videos. So I already posted a workstation video. And here is the Miracle respin. So we just need the Miracle respin information. New Fedora Miracle spin. The Miracle window manager is a tiling window manager based on the MIR compositor library. While it is a newer project, it contains many useful features such as a manual tiling algorithm, floating window manager support for many Wayland protocols, proprietary Nvidia driver support, and much more. Miracle will provide Fedora Linux with a high-quality Wayland experience built with support for all kinds of platforms, including low-end ARM and x86 devices. On top of this, Fedora Linux will be the first distribution to provide a Miracle-based spin, ensuring that it will become the facto distribution for running Miracle. So here is the complete information of Miracle spin. You can download all the other desktop spins, or else it's better to watch someone's video, or else you can just subscribe to my channel and you can see all the videos as soon as the video is available. And always turn on the notification so you can get all the videos as soon as I post, because I'll be posting 2 videos. So you can just go and download the ISO files. Just scroll down and you should be getting all the other desktop spins also. Here are the desktop spins. Click on whatever the desktop spin you want. You can just scroll it down, or else you can just click on download now and show the beta downloads, and the beta downloads will be also available. So that was the some of the information from the browser. So let's open the terminal and type in some commands. So INXI is not pre-installed. Let me show you that first. INXI, so it's not pre-installed. I'm going to install the INXI and I'm going to continue there. So let me type in INXI -SV8, hit enter. So I installed the INXI in the background. So let's try to get all the information. So let me go up and get all the information from the beginning. So let's scroll it up and get all the information from the above, because we need all the information. So I hope you are seeing properly, but it's the font is pretty much very small. I'm just going to read main things. So host, it says as local host because I didn't install the on the virtual machine also. I'm just running it on the live boot. So the kernel version you get is a 6.11.0 64-bit, and compiler GCC version is 2.43.3. and what else we have here is the desktop environment. It says not available, but here it says MIR WMMIR, and the distro it says as a Fedora Linux 41 Miracle M pre-release. So it says like a Fedora Linux 41 Miracle M pre-release. So it's a beta ISO file, so that's the reason it says like that. And about the machine, it's just a VMware information, so I'm just going to skip that part. And about the system RAM, I'm using 8 GB of RAM, so it's available RAM is 7.7 GB. So it's consuming 1.54 GB, which is around 20%. And these are some other information which I don't consider as important, because we need only the important information. So let me scroll it down and get some other information. So here is the CPU information, which is i5 1240p, and other things are just unnecessary, which is vulnerabilities and all those things. So it's not necessary for the video. Let's go to the graphics and get some graphics information. So VMWGFX version is 2.20.0, and here is the virtual, and display is Wayland. So the font size is pretty much way smaller, so I'm sitting a bit far also, so it's pretty much hard to see everything here. So the Xorg version is 24.1.2, the Xwayland version is 24.1.2. so these are all the available resolutions of the monitor. And OpenGL version is 4.3, Mesa version, which I already mentioned in the Firefox browser, but here is the version which is 24.2.2. and here is some other information. Let's continue with the audio. So about the audio, here is the ELSA version, and about the jack, it's 1.9.22, and Pipewire version is 1.2.3. So let's scroll it down and get additional information. So here is like a network, drives, partitions, repos, and all those things. So it's not important for the video, so we're just going to get to the main thing. So processors, it says like a 802. I don't know why it says 802. I think it's a 302, but it's showing as a 802. It's okay. Uptime is almost 21 minutes. And what else we have here? Systemd version is 256. And the shell bash version is 5.2.32. INXI version is 3.3.34. So these are all the important things. Let's type in cat /etc/issue. So you should be seeing just these things. And let me type in INXI. So these are all the same things as INXI-SV8, but you get some short information here. INXI-b, INXI-F, INXI-G. So we got all the information here. Here are the workspace, around 10 workspace. Here is the date and time. So it kind of looks short, but it's okay. And I think this is the weather or something like that. And here are the notifications. It says like a 5 notifications, but it's not showing anything. Here is some other customization, like a brightness and all those things. Here is the panel settings. So let me close everything and let's check some desktop features. So again, it says like a battery low. Let's continue with the desktop features, like a panel settings. Let's see we have any panel settings or not. So it's not showing anything. Let's open the applications. Let's open the panel settings. So here is the settings. Version is 0.9.37. And if you want, you can add like a model left, model center, modules right, controls, notifications, tray, clock, player control, sway taskbar, sway workspaces, sway scratch pad, sway mode, brightness slider, weather, DWL tags, Hyperland taskbar, Hyperland workspaces, keyboard layouts, executors, and buttons. So let me close everything. Let's also close this thing. So we can't see do anything on the desktop like a right click or left click. So we're just going to check other things. So here is the installer. So these are all the applications you get. You don't get anything other than these things. So basic things are here. And about the installation, let's open the installer. I think the installer will be pretty much same as the workstation. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to take a few more time. And also you can use the Windows key and D. When you click on it, you can open the applications here. So it's not showing anything. So these are all the things you get, and about the application you get the celluloid. At least the application may open. So it's not opening. So the celluloid just opened. Let's check the version 0.27. So the animation is pretty much good. And also the highlighting of the application is also good. It's pretty much simple. People who like the simple things, here is a simple desktop environment for you. And here is the TuneOut file manager. Let's check the version. So same version in the XFCE should be also there, like a 4.18.11, and also you should be seeing the same version in the XFCE. So here is the file system. You can go and check the files if you want. You can customize according to your wish. You can go to the preference. So the animation was pretty much good, as you can see here. So the whatever the tab should open inside the window, it's going to open in a separate window. Behavior, advanced shortcuts. So these are all the same customization things. And in the as you can see, there is like a highlighter beside the box, like a pink highlighter. And when you hover over to the other thing, you should be seeing the blue one. So when I'm on the main window, you should be seeing the highlighted with the pink, and the another not using tab will be, or the window will be on the blue side. So there is like a blue border on the left side if you notice. I hope it's showing in the recording. So these are all the changes, or these are all the settings you see. So it's not filled with a bloatware or anything. So if you use the other desktop environments, it's the new desktop environment here. So I don't think there is anything left here, and also the installer is not opening. So let's try to click on the installer again. So this should be the weather, I think, and this should be the notifications. So the installer is not working. So you can use the keyboard shortcuts, and you need to test it on your own if you want to try this desktop spin. I'm just showing the basic features here because it's still in the beta version, so that's the reason I didn't want to show anything here. So you should be getting some basic applications. Other than that, you shouldn't be seeing anything new here. So this is the Miracle desktop environment. Tomorrow I'll be showing other desktop spins of Fedora 41 beta, because some of the viewers want this specific desktop environment. So that's the reason. Do let me know in the comment section how was the desktop spin of a Miracle of a Fedora 41 beta. So when you try to log out, or when you try to power off, it's going to stay on the workspace. So it's not going to shut down, or it's not going to log out. So that's also another issue I already faced in the morning, because I was trying to see whether it's going to work or not. But you can't log out, or you can't shut down the PC, and also you can't even reboot. So you just need to turn off the virtual machine. So this is some issues I seen in the Miracle desktop spin. So these were all the issues, and the animation was pretty much good. The simplistic thing is also good because of the desktop, and the highlighter of the specific application or the specific window is also good. So it just needs some fixes, and when the new release is, or the stable release is announced, then it's going to be fixed. And about the stable release, it's going to be at the October end or maybe on the November starting, so the ISOs will be stable on those months. So I think I'm going to end the video, and if you want to check the workstation video of Fedora 41 beta, you can check which has like a GNOME desktop environment. So I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.